Hi, my name is Diana Chrisman and I'm an actor, singer and voiceover artist.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Wilson.
Hey, my name's Nicholas Way.
Hello, I'm Julie. I'm 11 years old and I'm from the Netherlands.
I've been acting since I was about 5 years old, but professionally since 2006.
I've been acting for around 2.5 years.
And I've been acting since the age of 13 years old, so a couple years now.
I think I have been acting for like 4 years now.
I got into acting because my parents sent me for elocution lessons at school, and my teacher there got me into some like poetry and prose exams and then into LAMDA exams, acting exams, and she opened a youth theatre, so I started doing productions with them. I then moved to a different youth theatre and did some like singing, dancing and acting all the way from age sort of 6 to 18, and then I got into drama school and I went to train for 3 years before working professionally in the industry.
I got into acting from theater. I did a bunch of different plays and just enjoyed being on stage. And one of my friends who were in the plays with me was represented by an agency, and my mom submitted me for it, and I became represented by that agency and started doing auditions and doing commercials, and it was just really fun.
Started acting was when I was watching my favorite Disney shows on TVs, and I said to myself, that looks like fun. Tried out a few scenes from it, and ever since that day I fell in love with the craft of acting, and ever since that day I did theater, musical, class plays, and even talent shows that really sparked a whole interest in me to pursue acting.
Every time when I was like watching a movie or something, I saw those people acting and then I knew that I wanted to do that too.
My first audition was a complete confusing blur. I was only about 11 years old and I had no idea what was going on at all.
My first audition was a self-tape at first, and I was pretty nervous for it, but felt pretty confident in it because I could retake it as many times, so it made me like pretty confident, and I really liked the lines. And then I got an email a couple weeks later saying that I was put in the second round and I would have to do an in-person audition.
Ooh, my first audition. That was for a class play, and I was in front of the class and I was doing it, and I butchered my lines, I butchered my performance, and the teacher said, if you mess up, try not to make it noticeable, and I did the opposite of that, and it showed in my performance.
It was so cool because I saw all those people watching at me, how I was acting, and that was such a cool feeling, and I will never forget it.
I was feeling kind of okay during the actual process. I didn't really get nervous because in my head there was absolutely no way that I was going to get the part. And so I just went along and just had fun. And I read the script with the director and I just used my imagination and had fun and pretended I was at home just playing with my friends, I guess. And yeah, I just enjoyed it. The whole audition experience for me was quite confusing. I didn't really know what was going on. I went in and did the audition and I just kind of had fun with it. And then I got sent out to the waiting room afterwards and I was waiting for ages and ages and ages before they let me go. And they came out and asked me to go back in again. And I thought it was because I'd done something wrong and that I hadn't done a very good job, so they were giving me a chance to do it a second time better. I didn't realise that that was actually kind of a good thing, that they were asking me back in, and that was essentially a recall. So I just went in and I remember feeling quite nervous that, like, what did I not do last time? And so I just thought, oh well, whatever, I'll just have fun again, I'll read the script again, same way I did before. And I just had fun, and they asked me a few questions and I was just myself. And it wasn't until I got home that my drama teacher called me up a couple of days later, or called my mum up and said that I actually got down to the last two, and that the second time I was in the room was actually a screen test. So I had no idea at all. I knew there was a camera there, but they didn't make me slate or anything like that, and I was just having fun, so had no idea what was going on really.
And I was pretty nervous for it. I practiced my lines so much, but it was a really fun opportunity.
Ooh, I was feeling nervous. Yes, I was nervous. And you can see in my performance how I was acting. You can tell.
I was so nervous, but also really happy. Like, I didn't even have words for it.
This audition was for a movie, ended up being quite a big movie, went to the movie theatre afterwards, and I was up for one of the lead girls.
For my very first audition, I auditioned for a short film.
That was for a class play. And
My very first audition was for a movie.
Unfortunately, I didn't book it. It was probably a good thing because I totally wasn't ready for any of that world at all.
I did not book it, but it was such a good opportunity, and I do know the girl who did book it, and I am so proud of her. She's just such a good fit for the character.
well, I didn't book it. I didn't book the lead role. I got the side role, which was okay because it taught me a big lesson on what not to do in an audition. When you mess up, to keep going, and if you do mess up, use that mess up to make your performance even better. So yeah, it was a plus because I learned something from it.
I was among the final 5, but unfortunately I didn't book it.
I love acting because it is such an interesting life. Nothing is the same. Like, no 2 days are the same. One day you're in the studio recording for something, the next day you're rehearsing for something in a theatre production, you know, a couple of weeks later you might be on set. You know, I might teach someone a British accent or something. There's so much to this industry, and there are so many parts out there. There are so many interesting roles, and it's such a fun life, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
I love acting because I like being different characters and being able to be in different people's shoes, and just not being able to like be myself and being able to be other people that aren't real, so I could like kind of make it up as I go, and it's really fun.
I love acting because I get to be on set, and I love meeting new actors and directors and getting to be around them. It feels so inspiring, you know. And I also love putting on a costume and getting a wardrobe and really getting in feel of who my character is and becoming the character. Like, something about putting on a character's costume and getting to know who your character is makes you feel empowered and in control, because you are in control when you're telling a character's story. So I just love that. And I love doing auditions, self-tapes. I love all that, meeting new people in the industry. All of that is something I cherish.
Standing in front of the cameras and playing in front of the audience just gives me an amazing feeling, and I just love doing it.
I think that when we're younger, we spend our entire childhood playing make-believe and playing pretend and making up little games with our friends. And as we get older, we lose that. And the acting industry allows us to keep hold of that playfulness, and we get to make believe every day. How cool is that?
This was it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!